My empties bucket is overflowing again. I need a bigger bucket. So grab your coffee, because I'm spilling the tea on the good, the bad, and the sheesh, why did I buy that products. I have a lot of products here. We've got hair care, skin care, body care, and some makeup. It's easy to give a first impression review of a product. But when you've finished it, when you've lived with it day after day, that's when you really know if it's worth your money. So let's start with hair care, because I do think that this is the biggest category this month, and I went through some stuff. If you've watched any of my Empties videos before, you know that my very favorite shampoo and conditioner is from L'Oreal, and it is the Elvive line. And this time I have 2 shampoos and 2 conditioners that I've been through in the past 5 months. One of these is the Total Repair Extreme, and the other is just the Total Repair 5. Honestly, I can't tell any difference between the 2 of those. I use them interchangeably. I have the Total Repair 5 conditioner, and then I tried this Glycolic Plus Gloss conditioner. I actually do think that my hair might look shinier, and I do kind of like it. I'm considering repurchasing this and getting the shampoo and the conditioner. But right now, I have something else in my shower, so it's got to wait till next time. I also have a Garnier Fructis Pure Clean conditioner, and I think I picked this up one time when they were out of the Elvive, and I just had to have something because I was out of conditioner. I don't know about you, but I used to have like 3 almost empty bottles in like every product category, because when it got to that point, I would buy a new one so that I wouldn't be out. But then I wanted to use the new thing and not this one that I'd been using for months and was tired of. But I have been working really hard lately to force myself to use up that last little bit before I'm allowed to use the new thing, and it's working. I'm really getting through a lot of those almost empty products. How about you? Are you a product finisher or a product hopper, where you want to hop on to the new thing before the old one's actually gone? Let me know down in the comments by putting a turtle emoji if you're a finisher, because the turtle finished the race first, or a frog emoji if you're a hopper. The next one that I have multiples of is the Not Your Mother's All Eyes on Me 10-in-1 Hair Perfector. This is my holy grail leave-in conditioner. I have 2 of them and the travel size. And I have my new one already in the bathroom, ready to be used, but I have an It's a 10 that I'm trying to get used up first. I kind of changed the way I'm going through my products a little bit over the summer because I've been influenced by the After Work channel and the project pan that she started over the summer. I'm actually considering doing a project pan like that. Essentially, it's kind of like what I'm doing where you're cataloging the products that you use. But to start it off, you gather all of your products together, categorize them, and then pull out one of each that you put into your areas where you use them, and the others go in an area that you've designated as your shop. And when you run out of something, you have to check your shop and use that before you're allowed to go to the store and buy one. It's an interesting premise, and I'm thinking about doing it. I have also been on a mission to use up all of my travel-sized shampoo and conditioner bottles, because that's another one where, you know, they get down to about here, and you don't want to take that with you when you travel because you might run out. So you go buy a new one, and then you use that until it gets to about there, and then you buy a new one. And so I had a whole bunch of those. And so I used up this Love Beauty and Planet. For some reason, this one just says Beauty and Planet. I guess they don't get love on the conditioner. Anyway, I did not really like these. I would not buy full size of these. They were fine for a travel size. I used them in between using the one that I really like, because if I used them too many days in a row, I just didn't like the way my hair felt. Next up, the Suave Max Hold 8 hairspray that I have been using since I was a teenager, and I still love it, and I will keep repurchasing it. It's affordable, it works, it gives me the exact hold that I need, a little bit stronger for my bangs, but I can still run my fingers through my hair when I spray my curls. Love it. This Pantene Heat Primer has been in my bathroom forever, because I think I bought it actually before I discovered the Not Your Mother's All Eyes on Me, which has a heat protectant in it. So when I use that, I don't need this. And so therefore it just sat. But for this, I made sure that if I was doing second day hair and touching up my curls, or doing my hair like later in the day after it had already been dried, something like that, that I used this to protect my hair from the heat. And I finally got it used up. The Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Frizz-Free Curl Mousse. I absolutely love this. I use this when I styled my hair in how I style my butterfly cut. The second style, when I let my curls just go wild and free. This is the first curl product that I use when I let my curls just go natural. And my friend Andy had told me that she found a dupe for this at her Dollar Tree. I looked for it and mine didn't carry it. So I have repurchased this and it's already in use in my bathroom. And then my last product is this Root to End Scalp Scrub Treatment from Dollar General. I do not believe that they make this anymore, and it makes me very sad because I think that this was really instrumental in helping me to regrow my hair after my COVID hair loss. I had COVID in December of 2020, and by February of 2021, I had lost so much hair. If you go back to my videos of like 2021, oh my goodness, it was so thin. In fact, I'll put a picture here so you can see it. So I used this in combination with collagen and biotin and a scalp scrubber, and I was able to get significant regrowth in my hair. And so I just continued to use it like once every other week just to help remove buildup and to keep the hair follicles open and able to grow. But the last time I bought it, it was in the clearance section, and I haven't seen it on the shelf since. So I'm gonna have to find a new scalp scrub. If you have one that you like that is affordable, then please let me know down in the comments below and I'll give it a try. All right, moving on from the top down, we've got hair done. Let's move on to skincare. This category includes some of my holy grail favorites and a couple that I just don't see the point. Starting off with a few from The Ordinary, and while I'm talking about The Ordinary, I want to remind you that Slovember is right around the corner. Slovember is The Ordinary saying no to the rampant consumerism of Black Friday. And so they put their products on sale for the entirety of the month of November. The ones that I have finished here, the lactic acid 10% plus hyaluronic acid, the salicylic acid 2% solution. My daughter also uses this one for her breakouts. I like using it around my nose because I get some sebaceous filaments and it's good at helping to keep that in check. The multi-peptide plus HA serum. This used to be called the Buffet. I really like this. It has really good peptides, and I think that I can really see a difference in my skin when I'm using it. These products are all really good for mature skin. And then the Growth Factors 15% solution. This one, I didn't really see any difference in my skin using it. I don't know that I would repurchase it, but I also wouldn't say necessarily that you shouldn't because you might see some benefit from it. The nice thing about these is they're so affordable, and if you do want to give something a try and it doesn't really work for you, you're not out a lot of cash. I have a shelf over at ShopMy that has all of my favorites from The Ordinary on it, and I will have that linked down below along with many of these other products. I won't try to link everything because there's just too much, but I will have that link down there. And I do suggest that if you are a fan of The Ordinary, or if you've just ever wanted to give them a try, Slovember is the time to do it. I have a Timeless Matrixyl Synth 6 serum, and this was fine, but this Matrixyl is actually in The Ordinary's Buffet multi-peptide serum, and so having this when I have the other, there's really no need for it. I've got two cleansers that I used up. The Naturium Vitamin C Complex Cleanser. This was a gift from my friend Cindy over at Beyond 50 Skin. Thank you, Cindy. I kept this one in my shower, so it was pretty much a morning cleanser on the days that I showered, and I really did enjoy this cleanser. I felt like it did a good job of removing my nighttime skincare, prepping my skin for the day without stripping my skin. And Naturium is not a terribly expensive brand. It's a little bit more than the next one I'm going to show you, but yeah, it's not bad. My favorite cleansers are from CeraVe, and this one is the Foaming Facial Cleanser. I do like a foaming cleanser. I've had their hydrating cleanser that's more like lotiony. I just can't get past the fact that I feel like I'm smearing moisturizer on my face to wash my face. But I also don't have really dry skin, and so I like a foaming cleanser that isn't stripping. CeraVe has the ceramides and niacinamide and hyaluronic acid, so I just really like the CeraVe cleansers. And I have another one. It's a little bit different than this one, but I already have that in my bathroom on my sink. Moving along with the cleansing theme, I have two of the Rokiss One Step All-in-One Cleansing Balm. This is my favorite cleansing balm makeup remover, and I was really panicked about a month ago because I went to buy another one on Amazon and they weren't there. But thankfully, my friend Andy told me that they just were repackaging. The package looks a little different now. The cap is purple, and unfortunately, they also raised the price. But it's still a really good deal. I've done some cost comparisons between other cleansing balms, and per ounce, this one's still really good. A couple of moisturizers that I have used up. My two favorite are from e.l.f. I have the e.l.f. Hydro Gel Moisturizer that I use during the day. This is perfect for my combo oily skin. Even in the summertime, it is just the right amount of hydration for me. If you have drier skin, it might not be enough, but I really like it on my mature skin. I do not have it repurchased yet because I have other moisturizers that I'm trying to get through. But when I do, this one will be at the top of the repurchase list. And then my favorite nighttime moisturizer is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream in the fragrance-free version. I love this overnight. My skin feels so hydrated and so plump and just good in the morning when I wake up. This one I have repurchased because I did not have another nighttime moisturizer. And so it's already been repurchased and I'm about halfway through the repurchase. And then this next one is the Neutrogena Cleansing Bar. And I keep these boxes because when you use it up, there's nothing left to show. But I use this to clean my brushes and sponges. And other than the e.l.f. Clean Queen cleansing pot thing, this is the best brush cleaner I've ever used. It's also very inexpensive. And so when the e.l.f. is gone, I'm going to be rebuying this one. And then the next three products were, okay, I have them, I'll use them, but I don't see the point. This L'Oreal Revitalift Hyaluronic Acid Serum trial came in a Walmart beauty box. And almost every serum I purchase has hyaluronic acid in it already. So to have a standalone hyaluronic acid serum is just an unnecessary step in my skincare routine. Now, if you have really, really dry skin and you need that extra hydration, it might not be an unnecessary step for you. But for me, I would not even consider purchasing this hyaluronic acid serum or any, really. And then this number 7 Lift and Luminate Triple Action Serum. Again, I'm not really sure what it's supposed to do because it didn't really do anything. But truly, it's not a big enough sample that I could tell if it did anything. And I have other products that I like better, so I won't repurchase that one. And then the e.l.f. Enhancing Lash and Brow Serum. This one actually dried up before I could use it much, but I did use enough of this one that I think I can confidently say it really didn't do anything. And then the last thing I have is a dead makeup sponge. I've actually used several in the last 5 months, but I didn't feel like it was necessary to keep all of them. You might wonder, how do you know when it's time to replace your makeup sponge? Well, this one got really stained because I was using one of those blush tints, and it just bothered me that it wouldn't come clean. Not that it affected how it worked or anything like that, but it's also gotten kind of pitted. And so when they do that, then it's not going to apply your makeup as smoothly as when they're new. So if you start noticing some pits or roughness on the surface of the sponge, then it's time to get a new one. All right, moving on to the body care category. And this is a much smaller category because I have lots of lotions. I just always forget to put them on. Anyway, I have a body wash that I used up. This is the Suave Essentials Wild Cherry Blossom. I really, really liked this scent. And honestly, for body wash, I pretty much just go by how it smells. And I tend to stick to the more affordable side of things. You may have noticed the hard water stains on this bottle. Yeah, we have a well, so we have really hard water. And I don't clean my trash before I show it to you. And I have a dead body loofah. This one has really expanded and grown. I try to replace them like every month, but I didn't keep all of them. I do have one lotion, this Jergens Ultra Healing Hand Lotion, and I cut the top off so that I could squeeze out everything that was in there and use it up. This is the one that I typically have in my purse. It soaks in quickly. It does a good job of moisturizing my hands, and I will be using it more and more as we get into the winter and my hands get drier. Another product that I used up this summer is this Isle of Paradise self-tanning drops in the dark shade. And I went ahead and got the dark, even though I am obviously not dark skinned, because you can just use a little bit less and get a lighter color. And if you want a deeper color, then just use more. And I really liked these self-tanning drops because you mix them in with a moisturizer and it's just much easier to get it on smoothly, and then it's a gradual self-tan. So, it just kind of develops over time. But I really, really liked this, and I would definitely repurchase these. Probably not until next spring, but I would repurchase. And then I also used up this CeraVe moisturizing cream, and this is a great moisturizer for wintertime. It is thick, and so this pump is nice, but when it gets down to about here, you're going to have to take the lid off and scoop it out because it just kind of digs a hole in the product that's left in the bottom, and then it won't pump anything out. But this with these was a really good combination to put on like at night before you went to bed. And then I woke up with my legs looking tan and nice for the morning. But definitely going to repurchase this now that we're moving into winter months and alligator skin is on the horizon. I used up 2 of the Lumi trial size acidified body wash, one in peachy rose and one in clean tangerine. I prefer the clean tangerine fragrance than the peachy rose. I'm not a fan of rose scented things. This one wasn't heavily rose scented. It had the peach to kind of cut the rose, but I do prefer the clean tangerine. I use these when I'm doing just a quick wash up at the sink. I don't think that they would last very long if you used them in the shower for your whole body, but they work great for a little sponge bath. And I used up a native deodorant. This is the sensitive version. It's aluminum free and baking soda free. I have learned that I do need to have baking soda free natural deodorants, otherwise my pits get itchy and it is miserable. This is the aloe and green tea scent, which I really, really like. I'm using Lumi again because they brought back their vanilla. And that is my favorite scent. And so I didn't repurchase this because I'm currently using the Lumi deodorant. Okay, and then in this next category, I apparently have a whitening toothpaste problem. I didn't realize this until I was going through my drawer, and I noticed that there were a lot of toothpastes in there. And apparently what happens is I buy one because I'm looking for a whitening toothpaste, and then it makes my teeth sensitive. And so I quit using it and I buy another one. Well, I decided it was time to use up some of these toothpastes. And so I did. And so I'm really proud of the fact that I went through 4 of them. This is the Crest Tartar Protection Regular Paste. This one isn't a whitening toothpaste. Crest 3D White Stain Fighter. That's my preferred toothpaste because it does not make my teeth sensitive. Then I had this Crest Pro Health Maximum Cavity because it was a travel size one, and there was a very little bit amount in there because then I had to buy a new travel size because I didn't want to run out of toothpaste. So this one just got shoved to the back of the drawer. Use that up. And then one of the whitening toothpastes that got shoved to the back of the drawer, this Colgate Optic White Renewal, I ended up using that up. And I was able to use it without it making my teeth terribly sensitive by rotating it in like every other day or so. And so one of the whitening toothpastes are now gone. I think I have 2 more that I'm working on. And then I'm just sticking with my 3D white because I don't know that my teeth were necessarily whiter by using it than using what doesn't make my teeth sensitive. So you're going to be seeing some more toothpaste in the next one, but hopefully after that, I will be down to just the one I like. The final non-makeup products are just a couple of things that I use for my morning smoothies. And it's not really a beauty product, but it kind of is. And so most mornings I like having a smoothie for breakfast. And I use this Orgain organic protein powder. I am not vegan, but I cannot have eggs or dairy. So that really rules out most protein powders, but I'm very interested in trying. They make a beef protein powder. I'm kind of interested in trying it. So I will let you know if I do. But this one has 21 grams of protein per 2 scoops. It's sweetened with stevia, so no artificial sweeteners. And I really like it in my smoothies. I also always add collagen to my smoothies, and I have 2 here. This was the one that I was purchasing. It's grass-fed and pasture-raised, purely inspired collagen peptides, and my Walmart isn't carrying it anymore. So I'm going to see if I can find it on Amazon and order it there because I did like the fact that it was grass-fed. Anyway, this one is the Equate version of collagen peptides, and it's tasteless. I can put it in my coffee. I can put it in my smoothie. I don't notice it there. So it's working fine too, but I really like this one better. Okay, moving on to makeup. I know this is getting long, but I don't have a lot of empties in the makeup category. I do have a few declutters, but hopefully we can get through this quick. If you're still with me, put this emoji down in the comments to let me know that you made it this far. And if you don't have that one, then pick something close. Okay, somehow, since my last empties, I managed to use up 2 powders. One is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in 05 Fair. This is one of my very favorite Holy Grail powders. I love this one, and when I get through a few more of my powders, I will definitely be repurchasing this one. It looks beautiful over my makeup, keeps me shine free all day long, and yeah, I definitely want this back in my collection sooner rather than later. And then I used up another of the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in transparent, and as they always do, my lid barely made it to the end, but it's gone, and I think this is the second one of these that I've used up. But I don't know that I'm going to repurchase it because I have other pressed powders that I also like and that also do a really good job of keeping my matte, especially like in the summer and the hot weather, that I can actually take with me because the packaging doesn't fall apart. Even if this lid isn't broken, it just kind of sets on there. So if you wanted to put this in your purse or something to take it with you, it's just really not very portable. So while I love this Rimmel Stay Matte powder, I don't know that I'm going to repurchase it. I used up a precision brow pencil from ColourPop. This shade was in taupe. It's actually a little dark for me, but I liked the pencil itself. I think I would probably need blonde if they have that, or like a soft blonde, an ash blonde. The taupe was a little bit warm and a little bit dark. And then I used up my Caramel lip mask completely. This is very, very similar to the Laneige lip mask. I've had both, and I honestly prefer this one. The other nice thing about this is you can get 3 of these for $9.99 on Amazon, and this lasts a really long time. I currently have the e.l.f. lip mask that was a free gift with purchase that I'm using by my bedside, but when that's gone, I'm repurchasing this one. I have 3 mascaras that have bumped up against my new self-imposed limit of 1 year from opening that they need to leave my collection. The first one is this Wet n Wild So Defined Volumizing Defining Mascara. And I actually really liked this one. It has a really interesting wand. I don't know if you can see that. It's like kind of curved, but then flat on this end. And it really did, I think, kind of help with separating lashes, but it was also a little difficult because it's very long. And so I almost always ended up with it on my nose. Oh, this is actually not, I thought this was the mascara, but this is the Nobu Eyebrow Conditioner. And I completely used this up. So this actually is an empty. And I do think that this did have some effect on growing my eyebrows. I think if I had been really consistent with it, it would have been more effective. But even without being consistent, I do think this made a difference in my eyebrows, especially like what I have out here on the tail. Unfortunately, when you use these, they work, but when you stop using them, you obviously don't continue to reap the benefits of them. And then a Clinique mascara that again came up against the 1 year hard out, but was also pretty much gone, dried up. I used it. I liked this mascara. I don't know that I would ever buy it because it's a little expensive and I have so many affordable mascaras that I just absolutely love that I can't see the point in paying for a higher end mascara. So I liked it, I used it, and it's gone. I am retiring 3 brushes. This one is starting to shed terribly when I wash it. It's probably 6 or 7 years old. It's lasted very long. It's served me well. It's time to go. This is a fan brush that should be good for things like highlighter and things like that, but it's so thin that it just doesn't really pick anything up. And it's been hanging out in my brush collection for a really long time. I think this was the very first brush set I ever bought when I got into the YouTube makeup scene back in 2018, and I just don't use it. And then this is a Luxie brush that came in an Ipsy, and it's just too flimsy. I don't use it at all because it's not good for powder. It's not really good for blush because there's just not enough to it. And so this one is also going. The rest of what I have is declutters. I have 2 of the e.l.f. liquid shadows. I'm not sure if these are the glitter or the metallic, but they both dried up, so I'm throwing those away. I have some eyelashes from Temu. I actually tried these on in a Temu haul and about just died laughing when I put this set on because they were so over the top. These are actually okay, but they're also very spiky. They're just not ones that I'm going to wear. And then I'm decluttering 6 concealers because they are simply the wrong shade. I've been holding on to these, trying to use them. They're either too dark, too yellow, or both. Now, most of these I actually really like. The concealer formula, it's just the wrong shade. This one is the Essence Keep Me Covered concealer. This is in the shade Shell, and it's too yellow. The Catrice True Skin 18-Hour Concealer in the shade 02 Neutral Ivory. This is not neutral, it's yellow. Wet n Wild Incognito. I can't see the shade on this one, but again, just too yellow for my skin tone. I need a true neutral or a cool leaning concealer. The Moira Mega Concealer, really like this concealer. This is in 125, and it is too light to be a face concealer, but it's too yellow to be an under eye concealer. I also have the 150, and it is the perfect shade to be a face concealer. So I'm keeping that one for that usage, but this one I'm going to declutter. The CoverGirl Extreme Wear Outlast. Not only is this too warm for me, I also don't like it. It's too heavy. It looks creasy and cakey under my eyes. So this one's gone. And the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. I actually like this concealer, but this shade, Ivory 10, is just too warm and too yellow. So 6 concealers decluttered because I can't wear them. So that's my latest round of empties. Some I will keep buying forever and ever, and others I would just as soon as forget that I ever had them. If you like this kind of honest beauty talk, then I think you'll love this video that I did where I go through some of my favorites from Amazon that I love and actually use all the time. Thank you for being here. And remember, stay confident, stay curious, stay you. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.